Welcome back to the morning show here on Rise News. I'm Rufai Yoseni.
I am Adesola Omorwan.
And I'm Onyekachi. Good morning.
Now, since the closure of the Nigerian borders, especially the Seme Badagry border between Nigeria and Benin Republic, there has been a serious drop in the volume of businesses for most traders. The closure of the border is biting hard on Nigerian traders who deal on non-consumable in various parts of the country.
According to the traders in Lagos International Trade Fair Complex, they said if the reason for federal government's closure of the border is to stop smuggling of rice, that they don't do rice business. That it's very wrong to visit the scene of rice smugglers on those who are doing genuine businesses.
Joining us now for a discussion on the federal government's border closure and the plight of traders is Monday Onyekachi Ubani, the second vice president of Nigerian Bar Association and former chairman, Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch. Good morning, sir.
Yes, immediate second vice.
Immediate second vice president. I think we got that correctly. Let's go straight to it. Rice traders are talking about this, but most importantly, the car dealers, auto dealers. There's been a back and forth. I mean, I think I saw you on television having a back and forth spat with the customs. As regard the plight of those car dealers, what is happening?
What happened was that the car dealers went home after their business transaction and came back the following day and discovered that their shops had been sealed by customs, and they didn't have any invitation or any notice whatsoever from customers to the reasons for the closure. And then we had to, try to reach out to them, and they were talking about smuggled cars. And our understanding is that if you have a smuggled car in any particular business premise, what you do is to probably take out those smuggled items, and then, penalize those who have actually brought in smuggled cars. But not for you to come and lock up their shop. And as I speak to you, for 2 solid months now, that is in September, that those shops were closed up till now, these guys have not been doing business because of the fact that their offices have been sealed. So what I did was to write a special letter to the Controller General, giving him time within which to open the shops and pay compensation, because for 2 months, as I said earlier, they've not been doing business. They have gotten back to me, asking me to come to Abuja. We are yet to do that, but I think there has been an interface also between my clients and the Lagos office, and they're trying to have the issues resolved, But then we need to now, make it a continuous negotiation and discussion about this, because one, we have had issues of where people will pay and have their cars released, authorized by custom officials, only for you to be going on the road and they say, oh, the car you bought, you didn't pay the full amount of money. You now begin to wonder.
How does that even happen at all in this country?
That is a good question. You ask, how did the car fly in? The cars were cleared at the port, and then somebody signed a release order before the cars were released. So why didn't you do the assessment? These guys are not, custom officers. They're not custom license agents. You interface with the custom license agent, and they paid you the amount of money, and then you release the car, only for you now to waylay them on the road and say, oh, you didn't pay the full amount of money. Sometimes you buy a car, especially you are going to the eastern route, they will just stop you, sometimes even have to use your children as collateral, asking you to go and get money from Lagos. And
your children as collateral?
It has happened. A family had to deposit the children until they came back
the
to
customs office
they held until the man came to Lagos to get money. It was reported to the car dealers. They mentioned it to the controller in Lagos. So it's been like that. And so we need to stop all that. If my car has been cleared and you have asked me to go with my car, from the port, you have no reason whatsoever to come and say that I didn't pay the full amount of money, because I'm not culpable. You are supposed to do the assessment. You're supposed not to release the car if the proper amount is not paid. It's here we do all manner of things, that sound so weird and get away with it. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So we should not, we need to address all these issues once and for all.
Indeed, it does sound weird, but it doesn't erase the fact that it exists.
Yes.
Because just recently, the Association of the Nigerian Automobile Association Secretary General, Mr. Moshood, said that during consultations with customs, they have now established that there are 2 regimes of duties being collected by the Nigerian customs. Because the argument in all of this is that customs says the auto dealers smuggling cars and don't pay, they shortchange the system. The auto dealers on their part are not totally denying this. They are saying whatever the situation is, your men gave us papers and cleared us. So whether it is false or shortchanging the system, it has nothing to do with us because we are not the professionals. But it doesn't erase the fact that there are cars that are not paying enough duties. Isn't that what this problem is?
Let's distinguish these things. One is smuggled cars. Because if you smuggle car into the country, of course, you're not going to pay any custom duty because it's smuggled. The another one is that your car comes through the port, and then the cars are cleared, and you assess, and you pay. And then somebody now says there is issue of underpayment. Are you following me? My clients, I have asked them, if you have any smuggled cars, of course, you know the consequences of bringing in a smuggled car you have not paid duty upon. There are legal consequences. And they told me, look, we cannot in any way sell smuggled cars because these cars, before we sell them, the buyers usually even verify with 5,000 naira from the office to know whether these cars were properly cleared at the Tinkan Island ports, before they buy. So they don't deal with it. But if any smuggled car is identified, that custom has every authority under the law to take in those cars and also punish them. But that is actually not what happened with regards to my clients. What happened that they came, they did not identify any car that is alleged to have been smuggled, and then seal their business premises. And that is penalty. And I said that the executive has no right to penalize any person in this country because when you come into your sealing, you are penalizing that individual, which the person is culpable. It's only the court. When you have taken somebody to court, that the court makes a pronouncement, oh, in the light of this evidence, this is the punishment. The moment you descend into the arena of punishing, it then means you have taken the role of judiciary. And that is what we are saying that is wrong. There is no law.
Small good cars,
yes.
But were they cars that were brought in by shortchanging the systems?
No.
Because we're trying to explain the difference.
Yeah. The other one is that if a car comes in, you raise a deal, David, no, this is how much you're going to pay. To the custom license agent who comes and collect money from these car importers and then goes to make payment. And it is based upon the payment that has been made that you now sign release order by authorized officer. The moment that is done, and you have agreed and released the car, you cannot thereafter to say I underpaid. Because in the first place, I am not the assessor. You have assessed it. You have agreed with the custom license agent and he has paid you. And it is based upon that you have released the car to me. So why would you now say that, oh, I did not pay the correct amount of money at the time it was being cleared? It then means there is collusion between the custom license agent and the custom officers. So what have you done to these two people who have done that collusion in order to shortchange the system and not the innocent car buyer or the innocent car importer? Are you following me? So we need to, streamline these things. Let custom be very transparent. What we have even agreed now with the custom, my clients, is that, look, from now onwards, let custom publicize how much they are charging for every car that is being imported. Let it be made known. And if you, the importer, pays that amount of money, let that amount of money reflect in your documentation. Because sometimes when all these agents come, they say, oh, it is 100,000 naira. And then you now pay 100,000 naira to him. When he brings back the document, what we are saying is 50,000. You begin to wonder what has happened to the other one. Are you following me? But the most important thing is that your car has come out.
Yes.
So you will now not begin to query the custom license agent, but I gave you 100. The point is that he has succeeded in getting the car out for you. But I'm saying that we should be a bit more transparent. Now, if the government says it's 100, let it be publicized, and then let 100 reflect in the paper that you are giving to the custom license agent. And not when he comes back with the paper, he's now reading other half of the amount of money or even 1/4 of it. It is not proper. It is not right.
So at this point, are you trying to say that even when there's a sign-off on it, there's a signatory that goes on that document?
Yeah,
so it can be backtracked to the person who released it. So at this point, why are we not seeing certain custom officials taking responsibility for letting people, slide on short changes?
Beautiful question. You see, the system must really be sincere and be transparent. If we must save this Nigeria, all of us must get involved. And then the system itself must, have an inbuilt check. If you have cleared the car, an authorized officer has signed that this car should be released, and the car is now brought to me as an importer, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for you now to say that that particular car was underpaid, that I didn't pay proper duty. You ask yourself, who assessed it? Who released it? So you didn't go after the person that has probably released the car. You now go after the person who has imported the car, who has actually had the car released to him. So we need to address this. But government sometimes feel that they are right. They have a right to oppress the people. They have a right, whatever they say is final. If you bring any custom officer now, if you see how they talk with so much arrogance, and you need to wonder what is going on. How is our country different from other countries in the world? It doesn't make sense at all that you have released my car. Based upon the fact that I have made payment, only for you now to come and waylay me in my car shop and say, no, you didn't pay the correct amount of money. The car did not fly in.
Okay.
It passed through a process.
I am surprised that we're still having this issue because even the customs as an organization started the Ignis form of leasing out these certain signatories, where now it's even a computerized system.
Yes.
So as soon as a certain car or a certain cargo comes in, it's backtracked on their system and you can trace it back. So if they have that, they're obviously trying to see how they can be transparent. Why are we not tapping into that as opposed to still doing it the manual way? Yeah,
you see, any country, there is a standard way of doing things now internationally. The best international practices is that these things are done through computer. Minimum human intervention. And it brings a lot of transparency. When government starts, with this, their TSA and all that, you see a lot of money that is coming into the system because there is minimal, human interference. And because human beings are so corrupt, but computers do not lie unless you program it also to lie. So we must now, if my clients are insisting, can we apply international best practices, in clearing of goods at the wharf? Now, that is another question we need to ask. Why is it that Nigerians prefer to import through Cotonou? What is special about Cotonou port? Is Cotonou port bigger? Is it more sophisticated? It has to do with landing and clearing costs. These guys have done everything in order to ensure transparency in the system, to ensure conducive atmosphere. And that's why you see the smuggling going on. Because most of these things Nigerians prefer to. The Nigerians have not sat down, the authorities have not sat down and said, why is it that with all our big ports and all that, people prefer to go through Cotonou in order to bring in goods? What is it that they are doing in Cotonou that we are not doing in our own? And you correct all that.
Okay, I wanted to come in here. Do you think that it's because, and this might be, because the reason the custom is giving is, we have seen a lot of foul play. We've seen a lot of these car owners collude with custom officials. But now we're seeking recompense. Now, and this started leading up to the border closure to sanitize the customs in this country. And they're saying, oh, we need to make these people pay for what had gone on in the past. We don't care if they had connived, but as long as they're getting their cars out, then they need to pay for it. Do you think this might be the case? And in all fairness to the customs, that's all Nigerians out there, you'll see that their revenue has started to increase. The customs is like the poster child of revenue generation for the government now. So, have you purged your members to the extent that might there be any case of, collusion with these custom officials at any point in time?
I won't speak for any person, but I look at issues from a logical, practical point of view. How things supposed to be done.
Well, they are your client.
No, you don't understand what I mean. I say, our issue of collusion and all that, as I said, I have even answered that question before. I am an importer. I am not a clearing agent. I am not the custom that assess. The clearing agent comes to me that there has been a DN raise. This is how much I'm supposed to pay. Then I issue him either a check or draft or give him money. He goes and clears the good and bring the goods to me.
Mr. Ubani, sorry to interrupt your line of thought, but we do have to go on a break. When we come back, you'll continue in that line of thought. Please join us again. You're watching The Morning Show. Welcome back to The Morning Show here on the Rise News. We're still discussing the plight of traders, especially with the border closure, and we've been focusing on the automobile traders. So far, we have Mr. Onyekachi Ubani, the immediate past second vice president of the Nigerian Bar Association. Thank you so much for staying with us, Mr. Ubani. You were on one line of thought before that break. Before I come in with my next question.
Yes, I'm saying that you should deal with your institutions. Institutions are key, They set the rules, they set the standard, and they must insist on the obedience to that particular rule and standard. If I say that this car coming into the country is going to be 100,000 naira, there is no way I should now reduce it to another amount of money with a person who is a constant license.
I'm coming,
let me finish now, sir. you asked a question why that it's clients' collusion. I said no. Clients don't even clear. Clients are the ones that import. But there are two people that interface in order to bring a car in, and that is the custom license agent, different from the car importer, and the custom that assess. So if you assess, the money is given to this agent, he now goes and pays, and then brings back your car after a release order has been, signed by a custom officer. So at what point are you going to, because crime is personal, at what point in time are you going to hold this man who is a car importer liable? Because it is now the custom license agent that have colluded with this person. So deal with these two people and clear the system and make it a bit more transparent. Let this man also have the amount of money he has paid the custom license agent reflect. Why most of them, and which is what they confess to me, is that at times they give, certain amount of money, as there. At the end, they see lesser amount of money on the document. Of course, they all know.
So why don't they challenge it there?
Why, when your car has been released to you, they know that, I give you money to go and release the car to, and you release the car. And all. It's the government that should challenge whatever they are putting in paper because the document is not forged. It's the government that signs it. I'm saying you should deal with your institutions. You should deal with your problem and not what you are dealing now with closure that is affecting some of the West African countries. Because of the weakness of your institution, you are punishing your country people. You're also punishing other countries that do business with you. Is it fair?
But the customs will say, since the border has been closed in August, revenue has increased, the farmers are happy, even those at the border community, security-wise, security has improved. So they do say there's a lot of gains in this. In fact, they say the gains far outweigh whatever
that's custom.
price.
That's custom.
That's custom saying it. And the Nigerian government as well.
You also have to hear from Nigerians the issue of those gains, whether there are actual gains. Because there are a lot of people also who export. Apart from importation of things, from some of these West African countries, there are many manufacturing companies that do, exportation. Yes, to West African countries. Now you have stopped them. Their companies are closed up. There are so many workers that depend upon them for salaries. There are some of them who are doing businesses now, both countries are being affected. And you talk about your increase in revenue. I keep on saying, this revenue you are increasing, you are using it for who? It's for the people. Now, if the people are not happy, because governance is about welfare of the people and security, if the people are not happy and majority are complaining that you are killing them, but you are basking in the euphoria that you are making, gain, you are making profit, you are making so much money for revenue for the government, the people must be alive in order to enjoy that revenue. That is also very key. Many people are complaining. And I tell you this, people are also saying that even the smuggling is going on. What happened now? You're paying more to smuggle. The rice is coming in. That this issue of all these imported rice are still coming in, but you now pay more. Because when laws are being made, sometimes you do it at the expense of certain persons. Sometimes you do it for the gain of people. People are smiling to the banks, with this issue of closure, because things are still coming in.
If you would allow me, we definitely do need to interrogate some of these things in the coming days. But let me ask you, going back to the automobile dealers, because there's a statement credited to you in some prints, and you are credited to have said that there's this is specific targets against auto dealers in the south of the country, and that has some sort of ethnic colorations to this whole thing. That's a different dimension. What are your evidence?
Well, it may not be issue of ethnic coloration. What I mean is that a lot of those cars that are closed, shops that are closed up, is mainly in the south. People up there are doing their businesses without any much interruption. If you see how many of them, in fact, they are compiling the names of car shops that have been shut for 2 solid months without any proper control.
How many of them now?
They are over 100. They are
100
car shops, The compilation of the name, I saw up to 60. Because, in a particular platform where they are saying, bring all the names and all of the car shops, As of yesterday, it was 60. They are still sending names of those car shops that were shut without any invitation, without any reason whatsoever. Is it fair? And for 2 solid months, since September, they have not opened those car shops.
But you said you gave ultimatum. I know you have a 14-day ultimatum. You said the custom had responded to you.
They have responded.
What are you going to be asking from them? Because the custom seems determined to clean the system.
Yeah, we are ready to. You see, the issue of collaboration and cooperation is very key. If this country wants to be good, there must be citizenship collaboration with the government to make it succeed. Now, government must be sincere. The citizens also must be sincere to clean the system and make it very transparent and best international practices should be, employed in the clearing of goods at the wharf. And they reduce also the cost of clearing. I think Customs is even making that suggestion. So in order to discourage Nigerians importing goods through other ports, make this conducive. Make Apapa Wharf also to the road. When you clear your goods, the issue of beautiful. Deal with this thing. This is generate millions of naira. How can we, in this 21st century, look at the Apapa Wharf, the road. You spend 5 hours, 6 hours. Who does that in this 21st century? And you have so much money coming from that system. Why can't you clean that particular system and then make it more transparent? It bothers me as a citizen when I see that my country shows level of incompetence in everything, even things that generate so much money. Apapa Wharf, and then why Apapa Wharf only? There are so many other ports in the country. Why can't we diversify? Why must everything come through Lagos when we have other ports that we can use? So these are things, you begin to wonder, what is wrong with us as a people? And you have so many intelligent professors, educated men, lawyers, doctors, all over that can sit down and plan this nation and make Nigeria to be an efficient country. Okay,
Mr. Ubani, I know, we're passionate about this border closure matter, but I also want to take you on some national matters.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm not going to just let you go.
Go ahead, sir.
I mean, there was a big contention about the constitutional provision as regards the days or, as it were, the transmission of powers while the president was away recently. And there's been this school of thought that there's no qualms. The president can go anywhere he wants to go without transmitting power as long as it's not exceeded 21 days. And in fact, I think I had back and forth with a lot of people as regards this. As a learned person, please throw more light on this.
Well, the Constitution is very clear as to when the president should transmit to his vice. In fact, that's why the law even allows the president not to run alone. He has to run with a vice president who, in case of those times allowed by the Constitution for him to travel, he now transfers power to his vice, who now act as the acting president. There shouldn't be a vacuum at any point in time. The Constitution is very clear that if he's going on vacation, he has to. And vacation includes medical, checkup, or if he's unable to act, even when he's in the country, maybe he's sick and he shows incapacity to act, he has to, at that point in time, transmit power, and that's Section 145. It is very clear. Now, during Yar'Adua's era, there was an issue that the president went for a medical, tourism somewhere in Saudi Arabia and failed to transmit power to his vice at that point, and for many months, and people say he can rule from anywhere and all that. So the lawmakers sat down and said, no, we can't allow that again to happen. They amended that section and added subsection 2 that says if the president is going on vacation or is unable, this is what he does. Now, but if he, does not do it, if he's unable to do that, the maximum period that the National Assembly will now come in automatically to empower the vice president is 21 days. If after 21 days he's not able, to do that, then the National Assembly comes in. Now people now says the president has to be out of the country before he can. No, that is not the section subsection 1 is very clear what the president is supposed to do. If he's going on vacation or he is unable, he transmits automatically. And that section is not subject to subsection 2. Subsection 2 is on his own. I say, if he does not do it after, that is when National Assembly comes in. So people now misinterpret it now to mean that it is only when he's going to stay outside for 21 days he has to transmit. No. Subsection 1 says he has to. If he's going on vacation, even if it's 1 day or 2 days going on vacation, he has
so as long as he's leaving the country.
Living on vacation. Or is unable to act.
But the president is a private trip.
No. See, there is no private. There is no private visit under the Constitution. It's not recognized under the Constitution. It says vacation. What the president has done, if he's on private visit, is going on vacation. That is what the Constitution regards it, and he has to transmit. There is nowhere private visit is. There's nothing private about the president anymore. The moment you become a public officer, there is nothing private about you. Okay, it's either you are going on medical, or you are going on leave, or you are unable to.
Because we'll soon be out of time, and very quickly, and there are many questions to ask.
Please, go ahead.
But on this same subject matter, this is not the first time the president is going on such private visits since his re-election. But what is the legality of the bill he's signing into law on this particular private visit? Because you have said it's unconstitutional. Can that law be challenged in the future to say it's not legal?
If any person wants
to... about the offshore, deep shore basin deal.
If any person wants to. Because the point is that at that point, the president is on vacation. Is he at that point supposed to, sign that law and then sign it in a foreign land, So these are issues that will come up. You see, it is for precedent. It is for future reference. Let's begin to set correct precedent for us as a nation. We shouldn't, do certain things wrong, especially when we have a constitution. We're a constitutional country. Let's work in accordance with the constitution. If there is actually trust in governance, there shouldn't be a situation where there should be issues like this, or that the president, is unable to, or he start beginning to give reasons why the president cannot. I have a vice, and I hand over to him. He should be able to exercise power, within the time I'm out. And then when I come back, I take over. There shouldn't be any issue at all. And the issue also not do anything that will actually rob the country as a vice. Are you following me? So that fear shouldn't be there, because Nigeria is a big country. For God's sake, such intelligent people should not be doing things that people begin to criticize on television and radio. That's my thinking. And I think that the president should also know that he came and swore to uphold the Constitution. We are one of those. I was instrumental. I believe so much in President Buhari. You need to see how all over on radio and television, there was a program I was even handling every day. I was waking up by 5 a.m. in order to go to radio, in order to announce that we must change the way things are being done in this nation. That we cannot continue with the former government that was running the country, aground. And I with so much zeal and this. At the end, we're seeing us going back to impunity. We're see us going back again to lawlessness, not obeying court judgment, not obeying rule of law. It pains my heart that this is not the kind of thing I want a country. We should be making progress. Have we made much progress in terms of obeying rule of law, obeying court judgment? And I tell you, we have not. And it pains me.
You regret all that support?
Well, the issue of regret, it's conditional. I mean, you have to look at it in the context. What was the government that all of us voted out? What were they doing? They were not better. They were not doing well.
Unfortunately,
so the issue of regret doesn't come in. I'm not regretting anything.
Mr. Ubani, we have to thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much.
We'll have you some other time for further conversation. Thank you.